And here it is, the #1 bargain yacht you will absolutely regret missing out on. The Mainship 36 Sedan. Available for around $25,000, this boat is the perfect storm of value, combining incredible interior space, efficient performance, and rugged construction in a package that is almost too good to be true. Why does the Mainship 36 get our top spot? Because it completely redefines what's possible in a 36-foot boat. By pushing the aft wall of the cabin way back, Mainship created a salon that is shockingly large and open, the kind of space you'd expect on a 40-footer. The interior volume is just cavernous. It's a layout that's perfect for long-range cruising or even as a comfortable live-aboard. But the standout feature that truly sets it apart is its semi-displacement hull. This brilliant design makes the boat incredibly versatile. You can run it economically at slow trawler speeds, sipping fuel. But when you need to go, it can get on plane and cruise comfortably at 15 knots. It truly offers the best of both worlds, trawler efficiency and cruiser speed. The hull is known for being solid, providing a soft ride that doesn't beat you to death. For the money, you will not find a more spacious, versatile, and capable cruising platform. But even our #1 has a catch. That enormous salon comes at the expense of the cockpit, which is very small. This is not a boat for hosting a big fishing party. The outdoor living space is primarily on the huge flybridge. The other thing to know is that the shallow keel design, especially on single-engine models, can make it tricky to handle in crosswinds when docking. Owners report it can be a challenge, so be prepared for a learning curve. Despite these trade-offs, the Mainship 36 Sedan delivers a combination of space, efficiency, and value that is simply unmatched, making it our #1 bargain yacht. Our runner-up is a model that perfected the family aft cabin cruiser, offering 2 private staterooms and a ton of living space for a low price. We're talking about the Silverton aft cabin models from around 1990, like the 34 aft cabin, which you can find in the $25,000 range. What makes this such a phenomenal bargain is that it delivers the living space of a 40-footer in a manageable 34-foot package. Silverton was a master of interior volume. You get a spacious salon, a forward V-berth with its own head, and most importantly, a massive master stateroom in the back with a queen bed and a private head. This layout provides a level of privacy and comfort that is unrivaled in this price range. It's ideal for families or for cruising with another couple. The hidden gem here is the solid construction and good performance. The hull, designed by the renowned Michael Peters, provides a comfortable, dry ride, and the boat handles well. Critically, the hull below the waterline is solid fiberglass, which avoids the coring issues that plague other brands from this era. Engine access is also generally excellent, which is a huge plus for maintenance. It's a boat that delivers on the promise of comfortable cruising without a 6-figure price tag. Now for the catch. While the hull is solid, the decks and superstructure are often cored with wood. This makes them vulnerable to water intrusion, especially around window frames and deck fittings. A surveyor needs to pay extremely close attention to these areas, because repairing a rotten deck is a huge job. Look for water stains on the inside, especially around the forward windshield. Also, some owners report issues with the original aluminum fuel tanks failing from corrosion, another major repair. A dry, well-kept example is one of the best family cruising bargains on the water, but one with leaks is a project you might not want. Claiming the #3 spot is a unique boat that offers an insane amount of living space and shallow water capability. The Blue Water 42 Coastal Cruiser, Finding one of these from the mid-80s for under $30,000 is a remarkable bargain for a very specific kind of boater. The reason the Blue Water is such a hidden gem is its radical design. It's part motor yacht, part houseboat. This results in an interior that is absolutely massive. The salon is a wide-open living area with huge windows, giving you panoramic views and a feeling of space you'd normally only find in a modern apartment. If you want to spend extended time on board, or even live aboard, this boat offers an unbeatable amount of square footage for the money. The standout feature, though, is its incredibly shallow draft. With a draft of only about 23 inches, the Blue Water 42 can go places most boats this size can't even dream of. This makes it the perfect vessel for exploring the Florida Keys, the Bahamas, or inland lakes and rivers. Imagine pulling right up to a sandy beach. That's the freedom the Blue Water offers. But this unique design comes with a huge catch. It is not an offshore boat. The hull is a modified V, and the boat's high profile means it can be very uncomfortable and even unsafe in heavy seas. This is a coastal cruiser in the truest sense of the name, meant for protected waters only. The other major issue is the fully cored hull. Like any cored boat, it's susceptible to water intrusion, and there are documented cases of rotten core material leading to major structural problems. A surveyor must meticulously check the entire hull, deck, and superstructure. For the right owner who understands its limits, the Blue Water 42 is an incredible floating condo. For someone with offshore ambitions, it's the wrong tool for the job. At number 4, we have an absolute legend in the sport fishing world, the Bertram 46 Convertible. Seeing a price tag of $30,000 on a yacht with this reputation is shocking. But for a late 70s model that needs some love, it's a reality. The reason this boat is a bargain is simple. You're buying arguably one of the best production sport fishing hulls ever made. Period. The Bertram 46 is famous for its deep V hull that provides an unmatched ride in rough offshore conditions. This is the boat that's still fishing when everyone else has run for the inlet. The build quality is exceptional. For a buyer whose top priority is safety and performance in heavy seas, there is no better value. You are getting a world-class Blue Water hull for the price of a sedan. The standout feature is that legendary performance. But beyond that, the 46 is an incredibly capable platform. The cockpit is enormous, a battlefield for serious fishing, but also a fantastic space for diving or entertaining. The flybridge has commanding views, and the interior is like a floating condominium. This is a boat that can take you anywhere. Now for the catch, and it's a big one. The engines. Most of these were originally powered by old Detroit diesel 8V71 or 8V92 engines. While legendary, these old two-stroke diesels are often tired, leaky, and incredibly expensive to rebuild. A full repower with modern diesels is a popular but very expensive upgrade that can cost more than the boat itself. The engine room is also notoriously tight, making maintenance a real chore. Finally, look for stress cracks around the strut mounts, which can indicate water intrusion. Buying a Bertram 46 for $30,000 means you are buying a project with good bones. Be prepared to invest heavily in the mechanical systems. Breaking into our top 5 is a true piece of American yachting history. A boat with lines that are still beautiful today, the Chris Craft Commander. Finding a well-kept example, like a 35 or 38 Commander from the late 70s for around $30,000, is an opportunity to own a real icon. What makes the Commander a bargain? You're buying a level of quality and prestige that just doesn't exist in modern boats at this price. The hulls were overbuilt with solid, thick fiberglass, giving them a heavy, stable, and incredibly soft ride in rough water. When you step aboard, you feel the quality. The hardware is heavy-duty chrome, the woodwork is solid teak. The whole boat just feels substantial. For $30,000, you are getting a boat that feels like a proper yacht. The standout feature is its timeless style. The design, penned by the legendary Dick Avery, is a head-turner in any marina. But it's more than just a pretty face. The layouts are incredibly practical. The 35 Commander, for example, has a massive 13-foot beam, which creates an interior that feels vast. They are fantastic platforms for cruising, offering a rare combination of elegance and function. However, here comes the catch: systems and power. While the hull is bulletproof, the electrical and plumbing systems are over 40 years old and likely due for a complete replacement. Many of the original gas engines were underpowered for such a heavy boat, which can make them handle poorly in certain conditions. And the classic 70s interiors, with their plaid and shag carpets, are almost always in need of a cosmetic refit. When shopping for a Commander, look for one where a previous owner has already invested in these expensive upgrades. Sliding into number 6 is a boat that represents the cheapest way to get into a true cruising boat. A mid-1980s Bayliner, often found for a rock-bottom price of around $15,000. I call it a custom Bayliner because at this age, nearly everyone has been modified and upgraded by owners over the years, making each one unique. Think of a model like the 2850 Contessa, or a Sierra Sunbridge. So why is a nearly 40-year-old Bayliner a bargain? Because for $15,000, you are getting a boat with standing headroom, a private V-berth, a galley, and a head. These were practical family boats, and they were built in such huge numbers that parts and owner knowledge are incredibly easy to find. For a new boater on a tight budget, that's a massive advantage. The hidden gem here is the simple, reliable powertrain, usually a single V8 engine. It's the backbone of American boating, easy to understand and cheap to fix. And since these are custom, you might find one that a previous owner has already poured money into, with new electronics, new upholstery, or even a new engine. You get the benefit of their thousands in upgrades for free. Now, for the catch, and it's the biggest hurdle with any older Bayliner: wood rot. Bayliner used wood in the stringers, the boat's frame, the floors, and the transom. If water got in through a single poorly sealed screw hole, it could cause catastrophic rot that is incredibly expensive to fix. When you inspect one, you have to do the soft spot dance. Walk every square inch of the floor, bouncing and feeling for any sponginess. Tap the transom with a rubber mallet. A dull thud is a huge red flag. A marine surveyor is absolutely non-negotiable here. They will have a moisture meter to find what you can't see. A solid, dry 1986 Bayliner is an unbeatable bargain, but a rotten one is a nightmare you should run from. We have arguably the most popular and intelligently designed family cruiser of its size ever built, the Bayliner 3288 motor yacht. You can find well-kept examples from the late 80s and early 90s for between $18,000 and $25,000. What makes this boat a bargain you'll regret missing? One word: layout. The design of the 3288 is a masterclass in using space. Bayliner pulled off a miracle, creating a boat with the accommodations of a 38-footer in a 32-foot package. The secret is the brilliant mid-cabin design. Tucked under the raised dinette is a private aft cabin, often with a king-sized bed. This creates a true two-stateroom layout, offering privacy that's unheard of in boats of this size and price. For families or cruising with guests, this feature alone is a game-changer. The value goes beyond the layout. The 3288 was designed as an efficient family cruiser, Its lightweight hull, often paired with twin Hino diesels, delivers surprisingly good fuel economy, especially at slower speeds. Many owners call it a fast trawler because it can sip fuel at 8 knots but still get up and run in the high teens when you need to. With over 2,700 of these built, there's also a huge community of owners, which means you're never alone when you have a question. True Titan of the Sea, a boat that commands respect from anyone who knows classic yachts, the Hatteras 45 convertible. Now, finding one from the late 60s or early 70s for as little as $15,000 to $20,000 seems unbelievable. And for that price, you're buying a project. But what a project it is! So why is a boat with this pedigree on a bargain list? Age and perception. Most buyers see a boat from this era and run, assuming it's a total write-off. They are dead wrong. What they're overlooking is the legendary Hatteras build quality. These hulls are massively thick, solid fiberglass, designed to handle weather that sends modern boats scrambling for port. You're not buying a pristine yacht. You're buying a $1 million hull for the price of a jet ski. It is, without exaggeration, built like a tank. The standout feature is its sheer seakeeping ability. This isn't a lake cruiser, it's a blue water battle wagon designed to slice through heavy seas with confidence. The original models were often powered by twin Detroit diesel 8V71N engines, absolute workhorses known for their reliability. Inside, the layouts are spacious and practical, usually with 2 staterooms and a salon that feels immense. It's a boat that gives you the capability of a much more expensive vessel. We're back in the Sea Ray family, but moving up in size to the Express Cruiser line from the mid-90s. We're looking at models like the 330 Express Cruiser, which you can find for an incredible $19,000 to $25,000. Why is this a bargain? Because it's a huge step up in size and capability for a tiny step up in price. In the used market, that jump from 27 to 33 feet usually costs a fortune, but these boats have hit a depreciation sweet spot. You're getting a wider, heavier boat, usually with twin engines, which means a much more comfortable and capable ride in open water. Where a smaller boat gets tossed around, a 330 Express Cruiser just plows right through. The standout feature is the big boat feel. The cockpit is enormous, with tons of seating for entertaining a crowd. The cabin feels less like a camper and more like a small apartment, with a dedicated forward berth, a large dinette, and a more substantial galley. This is a boat you can comfortably spend a week on. Plus, most of these models came with twin V-drive inboard engines, not outdrives. That's a huge plus for reliability and lower maintenance, especially in salt water, because it keeps all the complex gear protected under the boat. Here's the catch, and it's a double-edged sword: the engines and the engine room. These boats were typically powered by twin big-block gas engines. They provide great performance, but man are they thirsty. You have to be prepared for the fuel bill. We're talking somewhere around 3/4 of a mile to the gallon. Ouch! The second problem is access. To maximize cabin space, Sea Ray packed that engine room tight. Doing basic maintenance can feel like a game of Twister. When you inspect one, open the engine hatches and be realistic about the workspace. If it's a mess, it might be because previous owners found it too hard to work on. Kicking off our list at number 10 is one of the most popular entry points into the cruising world from a top-tier American brand, the 1996 Sea Ray 270 Sundancer. When you hear bargain, you might think you have to compromise on brand, But that's the first myth this boat busts. For around $10,000 to $12,000, you're getting a ticket into the Sea Ray family, a name that's synonymous with quality. That price is just astounding. It puts you in a capable, feature-rich cruiser for the cost of a clunker. So, why is it such a fantastic deal? The magic here is the packaging. In the mid-90s, Sea Ray mastered the art of maximizing space. For a 27-foot boat, the cabin feels shockingly generous. It's not just a place to duck out of the rain. You can genuinely spend a weekend on it. You get a V-berth for 2 adults, a dinette that converts into another bed, a small galley, and a proper enclosed head with a shower. It delivers a level of livability that makes it the perfect starter cruiser for a couple or a young family. On the water, its versatility is a hidden gem. Most of these on the market have a single 7.4-liter big block engine paired with a Bravo 3 outdrive. This setup has plenty of grunt to get on plane quickly and cruise comfortably in the low 20-knot range. And for a new owner, a single engine means simpler systems and fewer potential headaches. It's a boat that's easy to handle and just plain fun to drive.